Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to JCN.
All channels, this is Juliet May. Radio check, over.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to JCN. I'm Jack, your host. Today we're going to be talking a little bit like health and wellness, stuff like that. I want to start by saying I'm not a certified physical trainer or personal trainer or medical doctor. I'm just a guy that's been in really good shape and then had some ups and downs, got in really bad shape, then got right back into really good shape. I've done powerlifting and become a member of the 1,000-pound club while I was deployed in Afghanistan. And also I've done amateur kickboxing and MMA, so I've been in kind of fighter shape. So I'm no expert by any means, but these are just my opinions, and hopefully you guys and gals can take away what you will from them and put them in your metaphorical suitcase and hopefully better your lives. So hit that like button, subscribe, share, and comment. We really love to see your comments. It helps us make better content. So let's get right into it. I'm going to give you a short story of kind of my ups and downs with mental and physical health. And then we'll kind of do some of my opinions and, hopefully some of this can help you guys, on a daily basis. If I can help motivate one person, then all the hours of recording and editing and all that will be worth it to me. So let's get right into it. So my story, growing up, I was very physically active. I played, baseball, basketball, football, played a little bit of soccer, dabbled in hockey and stuff like that. So I've done a lot. So getting out of high school, I went straight into the military where I did a bunch of other, physical training type stuff. I was always in really good shape. I finally put on a decent amount of weight when I got into the military. I was always kind of a smaller guy, really strong for my size, but never really put on that like really good lean muscle until I got into the military. Then getting out of the military, I had a couple problems, mentally and physically that really kind of brought me down. I wasn't in the right headspace to be in the gym and really take care of myself the way I needed to. So I seeked out help. Excuse me, and I really got my head back on straight. So one of the biggest things with being in shape or getting in shape is having your head in the right frame of mind. So there are a couple different drivers when it comes to that, motivation and dedication, and that's just as important as getting out there and doing the work. So that's something to keep in mind. Like I said, I wasn't in the right headspace, so I ended up losing a whole bunch of weight, a lot of my muscle, and then that kind of just progressed and progressed for really a long time, where it's just slowly I was getting weaker and weaker. I was still doing labor jobs and stuff like that. I'm a welder now, so I was still doing stuff. I was still strong enough to do my job and stuff, but I wasn't where I wanted to be, and that just compounded onto the mental side, where I just was not where I wanted to be physically, and it was even hurting me more mentally. So they were kind of working in conjunction. I wasn't mentally where I needed to be, so that would, make me not motivated and not be able to stay dedicated on getting in physical shape. And then, while my physical health was, getting lower and lower, that would compound onto my mental stress and well-being not being where it needed to be. So that's huge. So finally, I ended up meeting my wife now, and she kind of made me turn over a new leaf. She saved my life. So once that happened, I started getting my mentality back. Got in the right headspace. Like I said, I seeked help to better my mental status. Got motivated, got dedicated, got to where I was, back in the frame of mind where I wanted to be better. I wanted to be the best person I could be. And so got back in the gym. At the beginning, it wasn't as consistent as I wanted it to be. Now, I'm in the gym 3 to 4 times a week and really working out hard. Uh, so one thing that I want people to take away from this is it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter how you've been in the past. There's every day you get dealt a new hand, and it's up to you to decide how you're going to use that hand to better yourself. It doesn't matter if you get pocket twos, if you get a crap offsuit hand. For the poker players, they kind of know what I'm talking about. If you don't, basically I'm just saying, sometimes you get dealt a not so great hand, sometimes you get dealt a great hand, pocket aces. But if you fold your pocket aces, you're not going to win. If you try and play a real bad hand, you're not going to win. So you got to know, every day is a new opportunity to play the hand you're dealt and win. Because even with pocket twos, you may be able to bluff and win that hand. So that being said, like I said, it doesn't matter what you do or what you have done. It's what you're going to do today. You can always turn over a new leaf, and you can always do better. You can decide to be the person that you want to be. So that kind of does it for my story. If you guys want, you can go ahead and comment, and I can go into more depth on any part of the story or just my life story. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is I've had my ups and downs. Coming out of high school, I was in pretty dang good shape. Going into the military, got in very good shape. Like I said, I became part of the 1,000-pound club while I was in Afghanistan. I weighed 163 pounds, and I basically, when you do the 1,000-pound club, it's usually a conglomerate of 3 different exercises. Let's see, I did 325 on squat, 405 on deadlift, and 270 on bench, weighing 163 pounds. So that's pretty good shape. I could run. Even it being in that shape, I wasn't as good a runner as I was, but carrying all that extra weight, which not even really extra weight, just muscle. You have to get oxygen to your muscle to perform the way you need to. If you have more muscle, then it requires more oxygen. So anyways, but that kind of wraps up my story. So let's get right into diet, because I really think that people have a pretty big problem with the word diet, what that means, and really how they define it. So when we're talking about diet, you're not always saying, oh, I need to eat this or I need to eat that, or I have to be on this strict plan. The way I look at diet is, we really need to think of food as medicine. What we're putting into our bodies. Your body uses all these different nutrients, all these different proteins and everything to for your body to function correctly. So, when I talk about diet, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm only eating this and this and this, or I'm counting my calories or this or that. For the most part, when you talk about diet, you just need to make an effort to eat cleaner. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't eat fast food. I eat McDonald's every once in a while. I eat Taco Bell every once in a while. I don't think, and some people do have to be real strict and everything. But when you talk about diet, you need to talk about sustainability. And that's the same thing as when you talk about exercise, which we'll be talking about next. You need to do something that you're not going to go hard at for 6 months and then give up on and gain all the weight back. Or, in my case, I have a lot of trouble putting on weight. So I have to build muscle in a sustainable manner, because in the past I've put on a bunch of muscle, but really, really gone hardcore for 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, and then you fall off because you can't sustain it. So that's, you hear some nutritionists and personal trainers talk about sustainability. You need to do something that you can make a part of your life. Uh, Whereas, I used to go to the gym every single day. Uh, that wasn't sustainable for me. The amount of hours I work, the amount of work that I have to do at my house, and put in time with my wife and my family, it's just not sustainable for me to go to the gym for 2 hours a day every single day. And it could be, some people are different. Some people, they have, you know, you also have to remember that you have to make time for this stuff. So, but anyways, 3 to 4 days a week, putting, an hour and a half, even 2 hours sometimes in the gym for me is about perfect. I could go, 4 days a week doing 2.5, 3 hours a day. And of course I would put on more muscle, but it's not sustainable. So once I fall off and I'm not doing that anymore, I'm going to lose a lot of that muscle. Um, so when we talk about diet, you need to talk about sustainability. Something that you can stick to and make a part of your life. I want to make it clear that everybody's bodies react differently. Some people can have certain foods that work with their body really well. Some people can have other foods that work with their body real well. I personally really enjoy and function well when I eat a high protein um, diet. So I mostly eat meat, fish, and eggs and fruit. Um, I don't eat a whole lot of vegetables. I know forever, everybody's always said you got to eat your vegetables. I do eat vegetables, just not in excess. I eat mostly meat, mostly red meat, honestly, and fruit and eggs, an animal diet. Um, and it works really well with my body. So, and other people, like I said, some people are vegans or, vegetarians, and that works really well for them. Um, I've been doing a lot of research on that topic for a long time, and I just, I really, really started thinking about the uh, the fact of, you know, there are animals on this earth that if you eat, it's not real good for you. But for the most part, if you eat animals, um, there's not a whole, their mechanism to not get predated on is to fight or run. Um, Whereas plants, for the most part, there are tons and tons and tons of plants that their mechanism for to not get predated on is a chemical compound or a way of making it taste bad or making it poisonous for humans to ingest. So you know there's a lot of vegetation that you can't eat. For the most part, animals you can eat. You cook it, you can eat any animals. For the most part, I don't want to say 100% because that's probably not true. For instance, blowfish, if it's not cut correctly, then it can be deadly. Um, when it comes to diet, like I said, you just need to every day do better. Do better than you did yesterday. If you're eating McDonald's every day or Taco Bell every day, you know, go to the grocery store, get you some good healthy food, and if you're eating it every day, start with 3 days a week, eat healthy food, and leave those two spaced out days for your little McDonald's or Taco Bell or fast food or whatever. You know, do better than you did yesterday. That is the biggest thing. If you're having trouble with your diet, it's not always best to just straight up, like if somebody was to quit smoking or dipping, going cold turkey is not always the best method. You can work your way down. You can uh, wean off of it. Um, is the way that people describe it. I think it's the same thing. Do something that's sustainable. Now we'll talk about exercise. Uh, you know, there are a lot of different ways to exercise, but the biggest thing I want to hit is the sustainability and mentality. Um, you know, there is an intersectionality between motivation and discipline. Some days I'm not motivated. I go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week. some days when I go to the gym, I don't want to be there. So it's not always just motivation. Some people, I can't get motivated. Well, that's where discipline comes in, dedication. You need to go on the days that you're not feeling like going. Usually once you get there and you start going, you start to feel better and you feel like, yeah, this is, I need to do this. Because I promise you get out there and you start working out, you're going to feel better. You may be sore for the first couple weeks going pretty hard, and that's one of those things where, you might need to work into that and be sustainable. Um, you, uh, and you also have to remember that, with diet, if you just quit eating, that's not sustainable. And you're not doing your body a service, because you have to take in a certain amount of calories to even have your body function correctly. When you just quit taking in sustenance, your body will drop to that level. You're not going to see a change in your physique the way you want to. You need to continue to eat. You may need to drop your portions or drop your calorie intake, but if you just go into a huge calorie deficit, your body's going to match that, and it's going to turn off certain functions that you need. So it's really important that you take in the right amount of calories that you need so that you can build muscle and also burn fat. And when it comes to exercise, if you're trying to bulk up and really build muscle, you might use a lower um, a lower rep count, higher amount of sets. So let's say you do, if you're trying to bulk up, 5 sets of 5 reps. So that means you have your exercise. Let's say it's bench press, just to make it easy. Well, you do 5 sets, so you're doing 5 different iterations of 5 reps, and a pretty decent weight. Um, and that's going to put on more muscle. Whereas if you're trying to burn fat, you might do 3 or 4 sets of 8, 12, 15 reps, even up to like 20 reps. And that's gonna burn more fat, but you're also going to be building, not as much as if you were bulking and trying to do like the 5 sets of 5, um, but you're still gonna be going in the right direction, and you're probably going to be burning more fat because you're using more calories as you do those higher repetitions. Um, the next thing I want to get into is sleep. Uh, Sleep is so important. If you don't have a good sleep schedule, if you're not getting 7 8 hours of sleep a day, you're not going to function at the highest ability that your body can. Um, you need the correct amount of sleep, and you don't need to be oversleeping either. You get up into the 11 12 hours of sleep a day, and it's going to hurt your mentality, it's going to hurt your performance. You're probably going to feel groggy all the time. You need to find, and everybody's different in this. I know people that sleep 4 hours a night and do very well. So it is a case by case basis, but find your um, amount of sleep that does best for you. Me personally, 7 to 8 hours is about perfect. If I sleep over 8 hours, I'm groggy. If I sleep under 6 hours, I feel worthless. So sleep is so important, and good sleep. If you're tossing and turning all night, you're not going to do well. When I came back from the military, I had a bunch of problems with sleeping, and it took me a long time to get to where I could, you know, get to sleep and stay asleep. Um, it's important that you get good sleep. So if you're having trouble with that, there's a bunch of different ways that you can work on that and better your sleep. A lot of people say that if you raise the head of your bed up 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches, you'll sleep much better. I haven't personally tried this yet, but I'm thinking about it, because I still have a little bit of trouble sleeping. Um, from time to time, you know, I have some real sleep issues, but for the most part, I've gotten back into good sleep habits, and it has helped me tremendously. Um, you got to think of it like this, when you sleep, that's your body's recovery time. And if you're not exercising enough, then your body's not going to get good sleep because you don't need it. Whereas if you're exercising too much, you might not be able to get the amount of sleep you need to rest and recover correctly. So that's another thing that people should think about. Um, I also want to get into supplements a little bit. Um, I personally, I like protein. I think protein's great for people that work out a lot. But it's good to know that if you take a bunch of protein and you're not working out correctly, if you're not working out at all, you're not going to get what you want out of it. It's like people that do steroids or something like that. Uh, if you just take a bunch of steroids and you're not working out, it's not going to do what you want it to do. Not that I condone taking steroids at all. I've never dabbled in that, and like I said, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a physical trainer or personal trainer, so I wouldn't be the person to talk to about it. Um, I just know that they do have negative side effects, and I have actually talked to doctors that you know have talked to me about uh just in conversation about the correct way to take steroids, and that they can be very beneficial. But like I said, I've never done them. I don't know anything about them really. Um, but I as far as fat burning and getting in shape, I am not a big believer in fat burners or thermogenics. I know that a lot of people use them and they work well for them. And I think if you use them correctly, that they can be beneficial. I personally don't have a problem with that. I have a very high metabolism, so my problem is putting on weight. Putting on good muscle. I have to take in a lot of food, and I have to work out hard to gain weight. Um, so like a casein protein, or a good lean protein is good for me to take in a lot of. Uh, but whereas, somebody that's trying to lose weight may not want to take in a huge protein intake. But even people that are losing weight that want to put on some muscle, I think it's good to have a good, like, isolated protein, like a good, like, I take ISO 100. I wish I was sponsored by them, but I'm not. Um, Hit me up, ISO. But it's a great protein. It's hydrolyzed. It's Your body processes it very well. It's not super heavy. It won't hurt your stomach like a bunch of proteins will, like weight gainers or mass gainers. Um, but for me personally, I like to go as all natural as possible. Eat the good foods, because you can get the stuff that you need, or the stuff that these supplements have in them from your diet. Uh, so that's about all I'll say on that. And the last thing I kind of want to get into is mentality. The motivation versus discipline aspect. We talked about it a little bit earlier, and it's just so important to be in the right headspace. One of the biggest things with losing weight or gaining muscle is it is a process. Um, it's a cross country run. It's not a sprint. Um, so you have to keep that in mind. You may not see the results that you want to see right, after the first week or the first month of working out. But keep going. Be dedicated. When you don't have that motivation, be disciplined. Get out there and do it. My mantra is there's nothing to it but to do it. You know what I mean? And that's what I tell myself when I come home from work after working 10 hours and I don't want to go to the gym, but it's gym day. I tell myself there's nothing to it but to do it. If you don't do it, it's not going to get done. So that's something, that helps me, come up with your own mantra. It's it's easy when you have the motivation to go do something, but when you don't, that's when you grow. That's when you grow. And once you do it and do it, it becomes a habit. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't need as much motivation. So on those days that you're not motivated, this is my process. I'm going to do it anyways. And that it goes so far. Um, and like I said earlier, it doesn't matter your past. It matters what you do today, what you do tomorrow. be better than you were. Um, for all the people out there that are suffering from addiction and alcoholism and stuff like that, same thing. It doesn't matter where you've been. It matters where you're going. You can be the person that you want to be. You're so much stronger than you think, mentally and physically. You can do it. That was one thing that I really learned in the military was you can do it. I had never run 10 miles before I went to the military, and in that first 10-mile run that I went on, or that first 10-mile ruck march that I went on, I found out it hurts and you don't want to do it, but you can do it. You can do it. You are so much stronger mentally and physically than you think. Uh, the human body is an amazing thing, and the stuff that the the saying really holds true. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I'm not saying you need to kill yourself to get this stuff done. It, like I said, it's sustainability and progress. But hopefully, the little bit of stuff that we talked about today has helped. I feel like the mainstream consensus today is that you need all these pills or these drugs or supplements, and it's really not all about that. It's about dedication and motivation and getting out there and doing it. There's nothing to it but to do it. And like I said, I hope that I am able to motivate somebody to really better themselves. I have a couple friends that weren't in the best of shape, and they ended up getting in shape, and they felt so much better. Me personally, like I said, getting in such bad shape there for a while, I just felt like garbage for so long, and making that change, making that choice. It's a choice, guys. Making that choice, it helps so much. Get in the gym, even if it's 2 days a week to start out. Just get in there and do it, and you will love it. Another thing that people struggle with is, they go to a gym, they feel so out of place. Everybody starts somewhere, guys. Everybody starts somewhere. You know, if you get in the gym and you're doing bench press and there's somebody over there that's lifting 315 pounds, that doesn't mean you have to lift 315 pounds. And I guarantee you, most of the people in the gym are really good, awesome people that will help you. You know, they don't want to see you going in there and trying to lift something that you can't lift. Uh, get in there, and it doesn't matter if you've got tens on either side. 45, which is the bar, and then tens. So you're lifting 45, 55, 65 pounds on bench. It doesn't matter. Get in there and do it, because you'll make those strides, and in 2 months you'll throw 35s on there or 45s on either side of that bar, and you'll be repping it out, and you're gonna feel great about it. Uh, so, anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, I'll be doing some more wellness videos. Maybe we might get in the gym a little bit, show you guys some of my workouts, what I like to do. Talk to some people in there, and just thank you guys so much. It's been a crazy journey doing the podcast, and you know, I, it's something that I really felt like I wanted to do and needed to do, and I've loved it so far. If it never blows up and I never get the all the followers and everything, that's fine. I mean, it's been a crazy journey, and I love it. And it's also been crazy learning how to edit videos and stuff like that. So, anyways, hit that like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends, comment. We love to hear from you guys. It really helps us to kind of tailor our content to what you guys might want to see. Drop us a comment. Let us know if you want to see some other kind of video. I'm working on getting some other equipment. That way I can take you guys down into the shop and do some shop stuff, and just stuff like that. So, let us know. Love you guys so much. Shoot for the stars. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you've done. Be the person that you want to be tomorrow. Be the person that you want to see in 5 years tomorrow. You know what I mean? Shoot for the stars, guys. Work hard. Just do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. Until next time, I appreciate you all. Juliet Maine out.